So Johnny has joined us, and okay, I think we have enough people here. We could probably begin. So again, I would like to welcome everybody here. Um, and the topic of the discussion, we're going to talk about social media and about the impact it has, whether or not we can trust it. Okay. So I see Sarah Blue Sky has joined. Okay. So give me a second here.
Hello,
Hello, how are you?
I'm great.
Good, thank you. Good, thank you. Okay, so again, welcome everybody. Let me go through the names one more time just to make sure I didn't miss anybody. So we have Imad, Mahmoud, Peace, Saif, Maria, Sene, Shivam, Anand, uh, Sarah Upside Down. Oh my gosh, I laugh every time I say that. Okay, Johnny and Sarah Blue Sky. Okay, did I miss anybody? Did I miss?
Yeah,
Yes.
you are missing only.
Oakley. Okay, Oakley. Are you, does your Skype ID uh, live? Hey, it's Mavi?
Yeah, only
Okay.
one.
No. Maui is a girl.
Oh,
Maui
Mavi?
is a girl. Yes.
Yeah, can
So,
you talk while we?
so who? Oh, Ramen. Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
Ramen,
this is.
yeah.
Ramen. Okay, so Mavi, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, hey Mavi, how are you?
Good, doing good. Thank you.
Okay, and where are you from?
I'm from the Philippines.
Oh, nice to have you. ¿Cómo está acá?
Mabuti.
Good. Nice to have you,
From
Mavi.
where are you?
The Philippines.
Philippines. Okay, nice.
Yep, the Philippines. Uh, interesting. I was talking to a Filipino friend yesterday in Tagalog, so interesting. Okay, so nice to have again all of you. So different countries, obviously, very diversified group. Nice to always have that. So we're gonna start in the beginning with the first. I think Imad, are you still here? Imad, I have to check again. It's really kind of yeah, Imad. Okay, maybe you can't speak. I think you said you're gonna listen anyway, right?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I'm afraid you will not hear me properly.
Okay. Okay. Well, if you hear something that you want to respond to, just say something, and we'll obviously give you the opportunity. Okay.
Yes, I would sure to talk, but if you don't hear me properly, just tell me in order to stop and let other talk, okay?
Well, if you want to, we hear you now. We hear you pretty good. If you want to start, you can tell us what you think about social media, traditional media, whether or not we should trust
Okay, that's interesting. So,
it. Okay.
a computer-based technology in which all people can have their own virtual place. They can share informations, exchange picture, can communicate with everyone in all in every place in this world, as we do recently and now. So concerning to me, I can consider social media is the key life. Each one used social media in every aspect of life. Now, media we can integrate it into education, into health, into, for example, the weather, into every aspect of life. We need this social media. But when we are talking about social media as the part of spreading the news, here it comes some problems. Sometimes the news that are spreaded by the media are not correct and can create trouble for people. I will give you an example here from Morocco. Today or this week, there is a news which is about an influenza called H1N1, which can hurt people. But when we come to social media, we may hear some news which is false news that can fear people. So they try to make it very difficult for them. But when the Ministry of the Health speaks, so it said that it's okay. But in Facebook, for example, they exaggerate. They say false statistics. They say false news. So it's harm people. It's rather than the benefits them, they hurt them. But people should use it in a positive way. Should they want to spread it in order to spread the good news, the benefits for people, not to harm other people. So here we have to pay attention how to use this social media. Social media can be available for everyone, in our home, in our education, in our school, in our classroom, in our travel, work, everywhere. So we have to pay attention to what is spread, and always we have to check the source of the information. Don't trust anything you hear about in social media, whatever it is a radio or television or using technology, mobile phone, or whatever the media. So we have to pay attention to the source of the information, because nowadays we see that people trying to make benefits from this media by seeing in the news, and if this news are not correct, are false news, so it may hurt people and other people. This is why I'm also recommended to check the reference, the resource of the news before trust them or to share them with others. And thank you very much.
Okay, very well said, Imad. Very well said. I have a question for you. Okay.
Yes.
So for you personally, which do you trust more? What you hear on social media or what you hear on TV and radio?
For me, I trust. For me, I trust more what is on TV and on radio. Because why? Because sometimes this, for example, these channels, it means they are trusted more because they are followed. They are always controlled by other people. But when it comes to social media, there is not professional people who say the news. It depends on, as I said, sometimes they just to make profits, they say the false news. They are attractive by the title of the news, but it's not true. So sometimes if for example, a channel said something which is not true, it means they are might be followed by the law. So why they are spreading the news which is not correct? And it's same thing for radio. But on social media such as Facebook, Instagram, something, it means whatever you come to your mind, you can use it. We can use it as, for example, sharing ideas, sharing picture, but not saying the truth, which I told you.
Okay, so I have one more question for you. Okay.
Yes, you are welcome.
So what is the most popular form of social media in Morocco? What is the most popular? Is it Facebook?
Okay, it depends, but I would say Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. They are the most known for every people. But sometimes we may see television is also very effective.
Okay.
Yeah, but as you said, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube are the top.
Okay, good. Okay. Okay,
Nice.
Thank you. Anybody else have any questions for Imad? Anybody have a question? And again, remember, Imad, why I think it's important too is that because depending upon our country, may change things a little bit. So again, Imad is from Morocco. Okay, any questions for Imad?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Do you know the traditional media in Middle East is political oriented?
Okay.
I think some of the news in a traditional media, such like TV, are political oriented. So it may be not true also.
So are you asking? Are you asking Imad if most of the news is political in Morocco? Is that your question?
I don't know. I don't mean it's the political news. I mean in general, most news are oriented to political or have a political political orientation.
Okay, I'm just trying to make sure I understand. So your question to Imad, I think the question that you were asking is whether or not the news in Morocco is primarily political. Is that what you're saying? I think. Okay, I'll assume that's what you meant. I'll make an assumption that's what you meant. So Morocco. Imad, is that what most of the news is about? Is it mostly political in Morocco?
You say political?
Yeah, is most of the news in your country lean towards politics?
No, it's not correct. But we have the news in every aspect in our life. So in politics, in for example, social, economics, we have politics. Also, we have culture. But most of the time, it depends on people who are concerned. But sometimes, yes, we are concerned more about cultural. Political news, but not always. It's social. Social is the most spread news in social media.
Okay, interesting. I wish my country right now was like that. Okay.
I know they also, yeah, but I hope it will not be the crime. It is the crime. But political or social or economics, it will be okay.
Okay. Yeah,
Yes.
I think things. Okay. Thank you. Very interesting. Very interesting,
Okay.
Imad.
You are welcome.
I'm gonna just for people that joined us a little bit late. I'm gonna try to summarize what each person said because I think it might be useful for people that could not hear very well. So basically, Imad, and I also want to make sure I captured it correctly. So you talked a little bit about computer-based technology, the virtual world, said it can create problems for people. Uh, you talked about the key point where you need to check sources. It's important. You said that you trust TV and radio more. And then for social media, you said in Morocco, the most popular sites for social media, at least, was Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And the majority of things that are discussed, it depends, but you said social, sometimes it could be economics, and sometimes political or cultural things, right? In
Yes,
general.
you are right. I confirm.
Okay.
Good.
Okay, I like to take notes, okay?
Okay, that's very good.
Okay,
Okay, good.
good job. Thank you. Thank you so much, Iman.
You're
So,
welcome.
Mahmoud, please share with us your ideas about this. And think about, you're from Egypt, so think about speaking
Yes.
from your personal perspective and from your country's perspective, okay?
Okay. Okay. Let's talk about social media. Social media, I think, is a virtual community which we can meet the person. Maybe, maybe you know or not. Uh, Social media is a place we can spend much more time to watch videos, to communicate with each other, to listen to some news, to talk with the people which we don't know, or to communicate with our friends or our relatives. I think the traditional media is okay, but I know the traditional media in Middle East is funded by the businessmen and politicians. So I don't know if the news is right or not, or have a specific orientation or direction. So I know social media news is not right or have something else false, but I think also the traditional media has many news that's not true. So I think the social media just we can say about one half of the news is not correct, but I think the international media in Middle East at least has more percent, not true.
Huh,
Um,
huh, huh. Okay, that's interesting. So you're saying that you think traditional media is more untrustworthy than social media?
I think in Middle East, yes.
Ah, that's interesting. Okay. 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 So, okay. Anything else you want to say about that? Let me ask you a question personally, okay? Mahmoud, let me ask you a question. So
Okay.
for you, how does social media affect your life? Okay, how does it affect you as a person?
Um, really, I can contact with my friends, which I have no time to spend in the real life. I can contact with my friends after I back from my work. Um, I don't need more time I can't make this action in the real life. I can speak with my relatives. I can watch videos and I can listen to music. I can spend more time with the people which I know in real life, but I don't have a time to
Okay.
spend in real life.
Okay, so it's more convenient. It's more flexible. It allows you to do the things that normally you wouldn't have time to do, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, and also you have a diversity of things you can do, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Good. Good. Good.
Okay.
Okay. Let me ask you about the most common types of social media in Egypt. What are the most common types?
I think the majority of the people like Facebook and YouTube.
Okay,
At
Facebook.
least in Egypt, يعني, at least in Egypt, but in Middle East, I think some countries prefer Twitter than rather than the Facebook. But in Egypt, I think the Facebook is the most popular website.
Okay, interesting. Interesting. Uh, uh, so you guys don't have any restrictions. You could basically don't have any restrictions on Facebook or YouTube. You can anytime you want to see something, you can see something. There's no restrictions.
Um, I think I have some news about the trying to make a restriction on Facebook in Egypt, but I don't know if we can or if this news are true or not.
Okay, so you heard some that they're trying to make restrictions.
Yes,
Okay, but right now there are no restrictions, right?
until now, no restriction. I can use
Okay.
Facebook. Period.
Okay. Okay. Good. 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 That's
Mm.
very interesting. I like this because again, each country is a little bit different, and it's kind of interesting, at least to me, to hear, excuse me, the different perspectives. Okay,
Okay.
very well done, great job. Any questions for Mahmoud? So actually, since Mila's here, Mila. Okay, so you lived in Egypt for a little while, okay, right? Um, so because Mila lived in Egypt for a little while and Mahmoud's from Egypt, does that match what you know about when you were living in Egypt?
We had so low internet there, we didn't use it at all. It wasn't possible to use it.
Oh, so when you were in Egypt, your internet connection was really bad, so you couldn't use it?
Yes, yes.
Yes, I think the internet connection. I'm agree with you. The internet
Okay,
connection here is not good.
okay,
But I think if you can afford more speed, you can. If you can pay more, you can get more internet speed.
okay,
I
okay,
think it is just more expensive. So if you can afford more, you can get more.
okay. Okay, well that's interesting. I knew that again Mila lived there for a little while and I was just curious based upon what you said, her perspective. Okay, good, good. Thank you. Well done, Mahmoud. Very well done.
Thank
Great,
you.
great explanation. Um, let me go. Peace, are you here? Peace. Hello, Peace, Lisa. Peace, Lisa. Are you here? Are you here?
Yes. Hello.
So, hello.
Mm,
So, tell me what you think about social media in Afghanistan.
yes. Media in Afghanistan. mm, um, all people use internet. In village, and the small boy, the small girl, and housewoman. All people use the internet and media. The, but I can't explain more because it is new for me. It is this I know say more.
Okay, no, I understand. Actually, Olareza, are you here, Olareza? I don't think Olareza's here, because Olareza speaks Pushtan, I think, or okay, he's not here. Maybe if he comes here later, we can ask them to get more information from you. Okay, okay, well, thank you. So that's interesting. So you said in Afghanistan, again, so the social media, I know that you can use Facebook because I have you on my Facebook. So you can use Facebook in Afghanistan. You can use YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So you can
yeah.
use YouTube. You can use Instagram.
Yes, yeah, no Instagram. Paltalk Messenger. I have Paltalk Messenger, Facebook, YouTube, Facebook, and Skype,
Okay. Okay.
Twitter, Twitter. I
Oh,
have Twitter.
okay, but not Twitter. Not Twitter.
Yes.
Okay. So for you, because I've known you now for a long time, for you, your biggest challenge in using things like social media is the internet reliability, right? The strength of the internet, right? That's your biggest challenge, right?
Yeah.
Okay. 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 Thank you. Johnny, you said you have a question?
Yeah.
Johnny? Okay, so why
Yeah.
don't you go ahead? Go ahead.
Okay. One question. What's the name of Sarah? Was it Sarah?
No, Sarah hasn't spoken yet. That was Peace.
Peace. Oh, Lisa. Okay.
From Afghanistan.
Okay. Hello. My question is, what is the main difference between social media and traditional media?
Yeah.
Do you understand?
No, really, no understand.
Okay, so Johnny asked, so you have television and you have social media, right?
Can I answer this question?
Well, we want her. Does anybody speak? What you speak? You don't speak Farsi, right? Right. Peace. Just Pushtun. Is Pushtun? That's the native language, I think, of Afghanistan, right? Pushtun.
I can explain her, okay?
Okay, try. Yes. Okay.
Zora?
Yes.
جانی پرسید تفاوت مثلا فیسبوک با تلویزیون چیه؟
تفاوت
فرقشون با فیسبوک یا تلویزیون.
تلویزیون
روزنامه رادیو.
تلویزیون و رادیو کنترل شده است. کنترل. اوکی؟ دگاه کنترل نیست.
خب به انگلیسی بهشون میگی؟ من بگم؟
Yes. Television is have a person controlled by government. Okay, television controlled by government, and the another no control. No control. It is everything. Everything I can see. Okay.
Okay, Johnny, did that answer your question?
Yep.
Okay, good, and thank you, Sarah, for that interpretation. Okay. Thank you. Oh my God, for helping us to translate that. That's This is why you guys are all so awesome. Oh my gosh, you guys are wonderful. You guys are like the United
Thank
Nations right here, okay? Okay, thank you. So Johnny, you said you had a question for some other people too?
Yeah, after they speak, yeah.
Okay. So, okay, great job, Peace. Good job, very well done. Let's go now to, oh, we have a long list. Maria, are you still here? Maria, I know that somebody left a minute ago. I have to check. I think she dropped off. Okay, so let's go to Seni. Are you still here? I think you dropped off too. Okay. Shivam, are you here?
Yeah, I am here.
Okay, so Shivam, please tell us what you think about this topic about social media and traditional media. And
Yeah,
again, just so people know, Shivam is from India. Okay, so go ahead, please.
Yeah, I am from here. Actually, social media is a pass information one way to another way. Means that it's a broadcast service, passing information one user to another user.
Okay.
And traditional media and social media is main important things is one different. Social media is a two-way conversation, and traditional is one way. That means social media is just thing WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, and traditional media just think are TV and this type so.
Okay, so that's interesting. So you're describing one of the main differences being that with social media, it's interactive, but with traditional media, it's one way.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. How about talking about in India? We know India has a very, very high population of people that use social media, very, very high.
Yeah.
So what is the impact in your country, India? What is the impact of social media? Is there an
Yeah.
impact?
Yeah. Actually, we have used social media just WhatsApp and Facebook thereon, and thereon is sometimes is we are getting fake news. Fake news, so we don't clear that it's a fact or it's a fake news.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there on one question. So how do we clear that it's a fake news or it's a original news?
Okay. So how you're saying, how do you verify whether it's fake or real?
Yeah.
Well, what do you think?
Yeah. First of all,
What is your idea?
yeah. According to me, first of all, we will check that news search on the Google and filter on the all over the news channels. Then we will check on which topic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I know that Johnny, I have a follow-on question, but I know Johnny wanted to ask a question. Johnny, did you want to ask the question to Shivam? Johnny, are you here?
Yes. Can you hear me?
I think Iman said this earlier. Look at the sources. Look at where the information is coming from. Often in our society we have, extremes. Extreme this way, extreme this way. Okay.
Okay.
And when you go to the extreme this way, maybe you hear one way and you go to extreme. So I always look at things in the middle. Okay. Because to me, there are elements in any society that go to these extremes. Okay. So to me, I always look at where the information is coming from. And then maybe I look at other articles that they have written or other information they have put out. Okay. And then I'll compare that to other things I see. Okay.
Yeah, it's
So
a good way.
that to me is probably the best way, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we will be comparisons to one information to another information. That's definitely it will be right.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, good. Johnny, are you back?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you now. Yeah, did you have a question for Siobhan?
Yes, I have one question for him.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
In your opinion, is there anything about social media that you think it has gone too far?
Yeah, I will go on. Just think I am getting a WhatsApp message regarding to social. So I will get into comparison to another social media.
I
Get
did
it, Johnny?
not. No, I didn't get it.
Can you try one more time, Siobhan?
Hello.
Yeah. Can you try? Just go slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, according to my opinion, I will go on the Facebook and WhatsApp.
Okay, Facebook and WhatsApp. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay, but I think Johnny's asking you, can you give us an example of maybe where social media has gone too far? Like maybe, for an example, maybe it is not controlled, so people that are too young sometimes see things they shouldn't see, or maybe there's no way to manage the quality, or people sometimes post things that are not appropriate. Okay, or people might post things that are hateful to people based upon their faith or based upon the way they look, or in other words, where do you think social media has gone too far?
Yeah. Social media is go on the television.
It goes on the television.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't think you're getting the question. So right now, as an example, let me give you an example. Right now, in general, and I think who was it that said it? I think it was maybe yeah, I think it was also Imad that said it. But the point is, on television, or maybe it was Mahmoud, you can control, not 100%, but in general, there are pretty strong ways to control what is seen on TV, right?
Okay.
But so maybe on TV, because there are certain restrictions on what they can show on TV, okay? But on social media, there are no restrictions.
Yeah.
Well, that's not true. But there are sometimes restrictions, but it's hard to manage that because so many people are on social media, right?
Right.
So is that a good thing or is that a bad thing?
Yeah, it is a good thing that we will compile comparison to all peoples.
Okay, good. So I
Yeah.
think okay. So I guess Johnny, he's not seeing anything bad with it. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess that's his answer. He doesn't see anything negative about social media. Okay.
Cyberbullying.
Huh?
Cyberbullying.
Hi,
I think,
cyberbullying.
yeah, cyberbullying. It has come to its, yeah, it has come to the point where kids kill, like, someone would post irresponsibly about them, even though it's true or not, we don't care, but people are person. And sometimes some people, the young generation nowadays, for me, they're not prepared for this massive, massive impact of social media. And of all its myriads of pros and cons, you can enumerate them all. But being responsible for once is not for everybody. For me, it's not for everyone. And sometimes it gets too far when people start to believe in something and they they bully people. Sometimes they bully the bully and they become themselves the bully in the process. It's like a cycle and I don't know how it would stop. It's becoming like it's becoming like a pest. Like you can't control it right away. Even parents can do some. They can control their kids up to a certain age, but
Right.
yeah, for me, it's too. It's like it's kind of more scary to raise up kids in this day and age because of social media, because of its access, because it can reach like millions of people in one push of a button.
Right.
So it's
Right. Right. Right.
I don't want to look at it on in that light, on that negative light, but well, we're just talking for the sake of having this discussion. I like to point it out.
Okay, no, I think that that's a really good point. That was Mavi, right? That was you, right?
Okay.
Okay, I had to because I can't see who's speaking, but I recognize the voice. So okay, so and you're from the Philippines, so do you see this as a large problem in the Philippines?
Yes, yes, it's one of the most relevant problem we have.
Okay. Uh, what do you think? Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question. Yeah, I know. So we went from Shivam to you. So let me ask you a question then. What do you think is a solution? What would be a solution?
Going back to the basics, when
Going back.
people,
Uh-huh.
yeah, going back to the basics, like family values, these things, building relationships starting from the family. Because you see, kids as young as 7 year old, there's 7 year old kids nowadays can, yeah, they can operate cell phones and they can connect to the internet. They parents use their tablets or the computers to like a virtual nanny to their kids. So it's like going back to the basics, meaning let us just remind ourselves the essence, what life is, what matters. It's like sometimes we forget because we learn too much, and as we learn more, we forget. We forget to value our character. In building relationships, we're also building character. Whether be it in social media or in any form of platforms whatsoever. But I always remind myself, like as I engage into Skype and all these things, I always try, and when I practice English, I always share people that please don't forget to use the magic words, the polite words. Say it again. What? If they couldn't understand what someone else was saying, what? Say it again. It's like, can you no?
Yeah. Yes. The magic words like please, thank you. Yes. 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 Yes.
Like, can mean it? Be sincere. It's just one example that sometimes when I observe people, we tend to forget these little things, but they matter.
Yeah.
And when these things that the foundation of, or our set of values, for example, the very foundation of us being human, then everything else would erode. Because so for me, it's remind ourselves, starting from, I think
Okay.
this one makes sense.
Okay.
Go up.
So let me ask you, Mavi, let me ask you a question if you don't mind. So in the Philippines, okay, again, I don't want to say anything that's going to be offensive, but I think you have a controversial president. Okay. Okay. And how is social media a besides separate from cyberbullying, separate, is social media something that people can trust in the Philippines, or you guys feel like that it's not something you can trust?
Just like anywhere else, it's a double-edged sword. You can learn from it, and it can also poison your mind. It's you being decisive. They said that our president, current, I think, on because of the massive impact of social media. They used it, their machinery, their political machinery, that those social media recognized its power to influence people, and he won because of Philippines is like the Facebook Central, and
Yes.
hopefully, I'm not sure, but we're the number one user of Facebook,
Yeah.
and he won because of, because of the social media's influence,
Right.
and that's why I was a bit dubious of his intentions. But after more than 2 years now, going 3 years in as president, I could see changes. I feel safer when I go out at night, and that alone. is something I cannot deny. He must be doing something good, regardless of all this, because he's not so good being a statesman. That I must admit. He's he's not nice on TV. He's not ridiculously awful. But then I must say, um, because um, respect and rules and the law nowadays is being implemented. I could see policemen, they're wearing their uniforms properly, their visibility. It's that alone is like, I haven't seen them this active. Uh, even those people from my hometown, they don't. Sometimes they don't care of what happens in our government. Nowadays, somehow they feel a bit prouder and more proud being a Filipino, I guess. And I could feel that.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
social
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Hang on. Bobby, hang on a second. Okay. So whoever is speaking, please.
एक दो लाइनें
Whoever is speaking, please.
रेंडर्ड बनानी पड़ेगी तुझे अलग अलग
Okay.
दोनों की दो तीन क्लासें बनेगी तेरी एक मेन प्रोजेक्ट में अलग
Okay. Okay. So whoever is speaking, please mute your microphone. Whoever that was, I can't even tell who was speaking, but please make sure your microphones are muted so we can hear people. Okay, we have a lot of people here. I will make sure we give everybody a chance to be able to hear them. So Mavi, one last question for you. Okay. Okay. So what city are you from? Manila, or what city are you from?
Manila.
Okay, so you live in. Okay, so I've been in Manila before. It's a big city and very a lot of people. Okay. So how much do you think people, if you compare the if you compare television to social media, you know, which one do people trust more? Or does it matter?
Social media nowadays, I must say, social media.
Oh, people trust social media more than television and stuff?
Yes. It's reputation. Yeah, the traditional media in my country has bad reputation because people in social media can compare even their stories. For example, they would crop up a photo and somebody would send out the whole photo. Then what does it say about this traditional media? Okay, so it's like nowadays they would watch the news, for example. They would check Facebook as well, or yeah, so
I
they
see.
would use I don't know as a reference, and
Right,
then
because
that's
like a comparison between them, and then, right?
that's just my observation.
Okay, that's interesting. That's very, very interesting. Does anybody have a question for Mavi? Anybody have a question? Any questions for Mavi? Come on.
Yeah, cyberbullying and harassment a big problem over here, and it's kind of I often witness the ordinary people broadcasting themselves on the internet, actually like YouTube Live, and especially anonymous site, anonymous comment are totally kind of sick, actually, kind of bullying. So I always wondered how can we stop that, or how can we change that?
Well, I think what we heard Mavi, and the question was for you, I guess, is how can you, and you talked about, I think Hiroki, your comment was about cyberbullying, this kind of stuff, right?
Right.
Okay, so what Mavi said, and Mavi, tell me if I'm correct, what you talked about is teaching people more about the traditional values, family values, these things, right?
Yeah, just what I said earlier.
Yeah. So I guess there is no magic solution, right? There isn't. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the solution would be. The challenge with social media is just the volume, the number of people using it on a regular basis, and you can't unless you have an army of people every day watching everything that everybody says. how do you manage that? It gets really, really hard, right? Unless you set filters, unless you set, they have algorithms, of course, on Facebook and these other, so they have algorithms that they use keywords, right? So they see a keyword, it flags it, and you can look at their history, and you can see if they're saying things that are hateful or maybe racist or sexual innuendo. So, of course, they do have some tools that they use to monitor something. Okay, they do have these tools, right? But I think it goes back to what Mavi said, which is that the smartphone, all it is just it's just a tool. It's like a computer, and it's what you do with the tool that matters. So what you learn and how you use the tool should go back to the values you have, right?
Also, as a nature of the internet, people easily can be anonymous. The radical comment such can bullying people could be few, not so many, but they are very persistently, and they use a lot of different fake accounts. So it seems like many people are very prejudiced or hate speech kind of thing people, but actually, in my feeling or impression, they are not so many, but they are very showy on the internet.
Well, that's a good point, Hiroki. That there unfortunately are way, way, way too many people that are not truthful, are not accurate. That use fake stuff, and maybe for some people they feel that that's the way they should do it. I don't agree with that at all. But there are those that for different reasons do that. Because I think that when you have fake information, when you have anonymous stuff, it can lead to, again, just becoming skeptical or becoming doubtful about what anybody's saying. If I read something by somebody that's using fake information or that's anonymous, to be honest with you, I'm probably not going to trust what I hear. Okay, I'm probably not. Okay, that person, by not putting the information, not being honest, to me, is there's automatically a credibility issue. Okay, be honest. Okay. Now I understand there are sometimes reasons why people may do things, but that's a big problem I have. So I strongly agree with that point. Well, okay, so since you're there now, why don't you tell us real quickly about it, and we'll go back to the order we had here shortly. So thank you everybody for being patient. But why don't you tell us about from Japan? In Japan, how do you guys see this?
It's big, causing big impact. Also, almost same things are happening globally. I think same things are happening in Japan too. People distrusted coexist media, and especially and older people still, rely on the newspapers. But I took the lecture from Dutch professor about Japanese mass media in 1990s, before the internet time became popular, like now, and I realized one thing: Japanese mass media is controlled by the somewhat government. It's indirectly by the authorities. Actually, system is called press clubs. So, and mass media have all major mass media joined the press club, and at that time foreign media cannot enter the press club. They can enter the foreign media's press club only, so they cannot direct access to the news conference. So I realized, oh wow. Before that, I thought Japanese media was free, but it's not free actually. And then after the internet, many people or many freelance journalists began to say about this press club thing. But I still just find this one English article on the internet, because mass media don't want to send people to this kind of information, because they can get a lot of profit from this kind of clique-like group.
Okay.
That's a problem with Japanese mass media. And in terms of the social media, and yeah, as I said before, I noticed the power of social media when the earthquake tsunami happened, because government want to hide a lot of people information about radiation and the nuclear power plant thing, and mass media, big sponsor of mass media was electric companies. So they hide or they alter or just didn't send the information a lot. So many people access to the foreign media, and then um, at that time, all Japanese news channel can be seen on the internet with comment. So somebody said about interaction of social media. So I was watching maybe 4 different TV about news conference about radiation kind of thing, and I noticed the hand sign interpreter translator is just beside the government staff, but one TV station didn't show that hand sign translation. So I comment on that. Hand sign translator is just beside the government staff. Why don't you shoot that person? Right after I made comment, TV began to show, broadcast that hand sign broadcasting. So I totally, wow, kind of thing. Even the ordinary people can influence to how to send the information. I think that's one good thing of the social media kind of thing. But at the same time, everything has a flip side point.
Right.
Anonymous information, fake news kind of thing, or another kind of manipulation on the internet is happening, or bullying, harassment. That's the kind of negative point of that.
Well, that's so that's an interesting point that you just said, because if you think about now, a lot of politicians they're doing things like Facebook Live or other interactive. They're using social media to interact with the, I'd say common. That's probably not the right way to say it, but with everyday people, and in some cases they're giving them opportunity to directly ask them questions. So that is something that is you can make the argument that that's a positive thing, right? It can be abused, okay? Okay, it can be abused, and I know in my country it's abused, okay? But anyway, you can see where there are some positive aspects to it. Again, okay, good. Thank you, Hiroki.
Thank you very much.
Any questions for Hiroki? Any questions?
I have.
Okay, go ahead, Johnny.
Hiroki.
Yes, Johnny.
In what way do you think social media has contributed in the progress of societies? In other words, how much impact has social media had on the progress of today's society?
Yes, one progress of social, thanks to the social media, we can have this kind of meeting. We can have a lot of different areas, people's opinion, and I realized, many problems are probably very similar or same actually on the internet, happening on the internet globally. So in the past, we cannot directly talking to the foreign people, and we just reading a newspaper kind of thing only by mass media. But now we can actually hold a meeting globally. I think that's one progress of the media.
So you consider telephone to be part of social media?
Kind of this kind of using Skype or social using holding a global meeting by using social media.
But people could do that too with telephones.
Telephone time, actually, when I was young or small, international call was very expensive. Maybe amazingly, unbelievably expensive. So maybe I cannot afford for that.
Well, the thing also, Hiroki and Johnny, the thing about a phone is that you can't. The nice thing about, for example, if you have a group chat on Facebook, you can actually share documents, you can share images. So it's not the audio. The thing about social media, I think, to answer your question along with Hiroki, Johnny, is the idea of dissemination of information. So you could do that real time while you are conversing with somebody. So the telephone, the traditional means of communication, we're able to transcend that now to disseminate more information while having that voice discussion, right? That's the power, for example, of Facebook. Okay, when you do a Facebook group chat, right? You couldn't do that in the past with the telephone. Or it was very, very difficult. You'd have to fax paperwork to them, or maybe email. They'd have to open it up and wait for them to open it up. So, that's the power of real time. It's basically what it is. It's real time compared to in the past, the legacy. Because even for my job, even for my other job, that was always a challenge. Okay, if you're going to have a meeting of 5 people in 5 different places and you arrange a phone conference, the idea, okay, you send them the information to read ahead of time, or either through email or you fax them if they're living in a different part of the country, as compared to, okay, share, review, look. So it's just the convenience of it.
Also, I'm not sure about the other countries. In Japan, a foreign call overseas was very expensive in the past. Maybe ordinary people couldn't afford that. The company staff or such kind of special people just call. Ordinary people could call very shortly overseas. So, okay.
Okay, good job. It's not frozen now. Mila, it's not frozen now. It's fine. It's good. Okay, great. So thank you, Hiroki. So let's go back to the list. I want to go back to the people we had. So again, I want to make sure we get everybody. So Saif, are you here, Saif? Saif, Mr. Sudan, Romeo. Okay.
Hello.
Huh?
I'm Blue Sky.
Hey, Sarah. Wait. Hang on, Sarah. Hang on. Wait. Let's go. I'm trying to get safe. I'm trying to go in the list I have here. Okay. So let's go to safe, and then we'll get to you. So safe, are you here? Safe. Oh my gosh, safe. Okay, if you're not going to answer, we're going to move on. Okay. Let me go. Maria, are you here? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, Maria. So talk to us, please. Share with us your ideas about this.
About social media and traditional media.
Yep.
Well, I think that either of them have their advantages and disadvantages.
Okay.
Social media have a lot of advantages because you can just see a new in a real time and from different sources, Maybe something that happened in a determinate point or in a determinate place. There are people around it with their phone taking a video, and you can check the different information from different points and different people, and you can see the real news, how it's happening in a real time. But it has also a lot of disadvantages because, as you know, there are people that they can show fake news and to trick the news, to try to cheat people with the news, as they manipulate the news, and they try to show us the news in a different way, not in a real way. So in that way, I think that that traditional media is more truthful, because the news are made for tradition for are made for one moment. People that one moment. One moment. Because I have lost what I was going to say. Well, people in traditional medias, I mean, that are made for professional journalists and people like that, that maybe the news are more trustful, that in the social media. But the disadvantage is that maybe we can't see the news in a real time. The news is maybe is made some hours before that you see it, And also we have the problem that it depends in which mean or in which channel. For example, in TV you see it. Sometimes it's also manipulated with politics, For example, here in Spain, there are some channels that are the public channels overall are manipulated for politics, and they just tell you what they want to, that they want that. I mean, they just want show the news that are interesting for that they are interested that people know. It's different in, for example, in private ones. They tell the news. All depend of the idea of different of the politics ideas of different channels. But anyway, I think that are more trustful than in the social media. Social media sometimes could be fake news.
Okay, interesting. So let me ask you a question. So how would you know if you were on social media and you're reading something on social media? How would what approach, what process would you take to verify or to validate that information is true? What would you do to see whether or not that information is true?
Well, it's just check it from different means. Maybe you can read the newspaper. You can also listen to the radio, watch TV. The problem is that young people don't use that means, traditional means. They just use social media. For example, the radio, young people hardly listen to the radio, and hardly they watch TV for listen to news, for just for maybe watching movies or something like that. They just use social media, and they not always get the real news.
Okay. Okay, good point. Do you guys have any in Spain? Do you guys have any television stations that are controlled by the government? In other words, are they all private?
No, we have the public one that's paid for with taxes from the citizens.
Okay.
That is more like controlled by the government. Overall, in politics, when they say news about politics, it's more control, or a debate of politics. Debate is more control for politics. They say it depends of the party of the moment. They say what is their interest, But it's no problem because you can choose different channels, and different channels depend on the ideas. The ideas they tell you the different in a different way the new, about politics. I mean,
Okay, okay, good, good, good. Interesting. Okay, any questions for Maria?
I have
Any
one.
questions? Sure, go ahead.
Um, Maria, should social
Yeah.
media be regulated as newspapers are, or should it be free and open for everybody?
Well, I think that should be regulated because as I told you before, sometimes it could be very harming for some people.
Mhm.
For example, last week it happened here a very serious accident with a little child. He fall in a well of that it was just 25 centimeters,
Mhm.
and the boy was 2 years, and the well was 100 meters depth. Then people, his father, unannounced, saw the little boy fall down, and then it was a mess because there was for a while a lot the firemen, the police, a lot of special people from different countries to take
Mhm.
out the children, minors. And then suddenly in the social media, someone started to say that the boy was not there, that the will was for hiding drugs and things like that. And then immediately in TV they say they denied it. They say that it was not true, no. But still people have the doubt, and finally the child, after a week, they could take out the child from the wheel, and he was there. But that was very harming for the family, you know in a situation like that, to spread that through the social media. And I think that should be controlled.
Okay,
Okay.
did
Do
she
you
answer your
understand me?
question?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Well said, Maria. Very good job. Great job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so let's go to Sunny. Are you here, Sunny? Sunny, are you here? Okay, let's go to Anand. Anand, are you here? Okay, let's go to Upside Down Sarah.
Yeah, hello. I'm
Oh,
Anand.
yes. Okay,
Yeah,
Anand.
I'm
Okay,
here.
Anand. Okay, so tell us what you think about the topic, please, Anand.
Yeah, basically, according to my opinion,
Uh-huh.
uh, n- traditional media is most trustful media, and comparison to the social media, and social media is more uh, powerful than traditional media, because in social media, just like we can get every type of information, we can get and at any time. Just like if I want to get any information, just like I want to get a sports news, at that time, if we want to go with traditional media, then at the specific time we can get this type of information. But in social media we can get everything in at every time. That's the basic difference. And also, we can't provide our opinion or our thought to with traditional media. But in social media, we can provide our thought. Also provide help. Just like anyone needs help, then he ask from social media. But in traditional media, this functionality is not provided in traditional media. And also we can provide the helpful people from the social media. And also we can get we can spread our thought, we can spread our knowledge to be using of social media. But from uh, just like traditional media, newspaper, radio and TV provides they provides news. But they have the sources behind all the traditional media, but in social, just like we also use social media app just like Facebook or Instagram. They provide every types of information, but we can't differentiate between the which is fake news and which is right news, because there is no any sources behind all the information. They provide all the information according to the manipulation his thought or her thought, and they provide the information according to his opinion, and every news, just like in traditional media, anchors provide news according to the source, according to the source. Everyone what he is saying is provide, but in fake news you can also provide a fake news. He is saying in other modes, but you provide this message in other modes.
Okay. You put a lot of information out there, okay? Oh my gosh, okay.
Yeah.
I feel like your mouth was like a machine gun. Okay. So I would recommend slow down a little bit, okay? I would recommend.
Next time I will slow down.
Okay. So it's hard for me to even ask a question because you put a lot of information out there. Let me see if but I do have a question. Let me see if I understood what you said, because you said it really quickly. Is you spoke very quickly. So you said social media is more powerful because it can provide a lot of functions like sharing knowledge, interacting, providing help for people, etc. Right?
Yeah, right.
Okay, but don't you think that if we think about traditional media like television, newspapers, don't you think they have more quality control? Meaning that don't they do more work to make sure that the information they are providing is of higher quality and more accurate? You don't agree with that?
Yes, I am already saying in my conversation that in traditional media, just like television, radio, or newspaper, they had behind sources. Just like he found the sources from this news has come, but from social media provide this type of information. They have not any sources. You also provide from his speculation, all that type of news.
Okay, good. So you're balancing the two of them, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because I think I get what you're saying now. So okay, good. Very well said. You're very good with your English. I would just recommend again, slow down a little bit.
Yes.
It can be difficult for somebody, you know. You remind me of one of my nephews. One of my nephews goes. I say, slow down, take a breath, take some air, smell the flowers. Okay. But no, you do a very good job, Anand. Very good job. Well done.
Thanks.
Okay. You're
Any
welcome.
question from your side?
Yeah. So again, you're from India. You're from India as well. So
Yeah,
I guess so I don't know if you're going to answer. Let me see if I ask Siobhan this question. So I don't think I asked Siobhan this question, but I think I know the answer already. So what is the most common social media in India? Is it Facebook?
Yeah, it is Facebook or WhatsApp?
Oh, Facebook and WhatsApp. Facebook and WhatsApp. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else have a question for Anand? Any questions?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I have one question for Anand. Who's test on the traditional or social media?
What are you saying? I'm not understanding. What are you saying?
I am asking to you that which one you are trusting, that traditional or social media?
Which one do you trust more?
Yeah. Basically, in India, I am living in renting house, so I have no TV or just like a radio. So I
Right.
yeah, so I depended on just like only on social media, and also getting the all the information from many more social media, just like many more new channel provides. Also, also you can say that. Uh, also many newspaper provides internet facility to get, to provide information, so we can get all the information through social media and internet.
Yeah, it's nice.
Okay. Thank you. Good question. Good question.
Are you agree with me?
Yeah.
Okay. Well done, Anand. Good job. Let's go ahead. We still have a few more people. Yeah, we have a few more people. So we have a few more people. I want to make sure that we get everybody in, because again, we have a lot of people still that we haven't gone through. So Upside Down Sarah, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh my gosh, you don't know how funny I feel when I say that. Okay. I see you in Portugal. I'm gonna call you Upside Down Sarah. Okay. Okay. So what do you think? What do you think about this topic?
Okay, as Maria said, there are some advantages and disadvantages for both of them, social medias and traditional medias. I'm going to compare some of these advantages and disadvantages. For traditional media, it's one to many, like one person or a group of people, a small group of people make a decision what they are going to share, what they are going to put in a newspaper, in a television program, or so on. And the rest of people will just read or listen or watch. About social media, it's not one to many, it's many to many. There are lots of people, they can make a decision that and create a content and share it with other people. So it's not just one person or a group of people. It's all people against all of them. The second difference is about interactivity, as some of the other friends said. In social media, interactivity is high, and people can comment, can say their thought about the subject, about the issue, about whatever it is. But in traditional medias, interactivity is negligible. You know, sometimes you can send a letter to a newspaper and hope to write it, to hope to publish it in that newspaper, but it may take a long time and they will censor it, and you don't have a great chance to see your letter, and so on. The third difference is about social media is mostly global, and it doesn't. Its members are unlimited. But traditional medias, not all of them, but some of them are limited in reach and in member. Not all the people in the world can use, for example, a newspaper in my country, because first of all, it has a different language, and after that, it's only in Iran. You can't easily find and buy it. So, after that, as Maria said, social media is instant. You can exactly at the same time and know what's going on in the other side of the world. But in traditional media, for example, for newspaper, you need to at least wait one day for the next big morning to see that. But unless there is a live program in a television. Of course, being instant has its advantages and disadvantages for social media. For example, sometimes it makes people scared about some false news, and it may bring a huge wave of fearness between people. But on the other hand, government can't easily hide some news, because before they find a way to hide it, people spread it by social media. The next difference is that social media is most of the time free, but for traditional media, some of them are free, some of them are not. For example, for newspaper or for some TV channels, you have to pay some money. About social media, I can use it whenever I want, but for example, a TV program, I have to schedule my time to be available, for example, at 6 p.m. to watch a TV program or to find out what's going on, for example, or to see a TV press, something like that. But for social media, I am the one who make a decision when I want to use it and when I want to watch it. So it's 24/7 available. The seventh difference is that we can find the reality by communicating with people through social media. While in traditional media, government can use it to spread lies in the clothes of the truth. You know, for example, if you only listen to traditional medias in your country, you may consider Iranians as terrorists. If I only listen to traditional media in my country, I may consider that all the Americans are going to, I don't know, mock me or use my sources or attack me or something like that. But through Skype, as a social media, I communicate with you. I know that all the Americans are not bad. Most of them are great. And you can communicate with Iranians, with Indians, and see that whatever you read in the news, it's not exactly true. So it's, you know, sometimes you can't find the reality by social media.
Right.
But on the other hand, people use social media sometimes to spread lies. You know, it's not always people. Sometimes it's a mistake. They can do it by mistake or intentionally. While in the traditional media, random people can't send anything on them that will make some false news by mistake or intentionally. So it's another good thing for traditional medias. What else? For social media, I have to spend time to check the validity of news. But for traditional media, when it comes to news not related to politics, I insist, not related to politics, I don't need to think about the validity of the news. For example, if there is an earthquake, if I see a news about an earthquake in social media, I won't believe it at the first second, at the first moment. But when I see it in television, I know that it's not a lie. It's not someone who want to just make some false news. So about not political news, social media are quite valid. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Do I have time yet?
Yeah. Go ahead. You're doing good. You're doing a great job.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. The next difference for social media, it can make interests. For example, for young people, they can, for example, see some news about politics and so on. They go further and further and are a little bit interested to politics and follow it. But for traditional medias, it has its own followers, and it doesn't that much try to find new followers to make people interested in those kind of news. Especially in social media, for example, when I see my friends are all following some sort of political news or I don't know, social news, I will follow it too. While in traditional media, I don't have this opportunity. On the other hand, in the social media, it's good to help people to run campaigns. You know, if they have a problem in their country, in their society, in their city, they can use this feature, this media, to run a campaign to try to solve it. But in traditional media, they can't do it easily. But on the other hand, social media can be addictive, as it's endless. You know, you can use it and use it and use it, and still there is something to read and to watch. But for traditional media, it's not that much addictive because it's not that much endless. You know.
Right. It's better defined, maybe.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
We should ask you to write an essay about this, okay? I'm serious. You have some really, really good points.
Thank you. The other difference is that in social media there's less censor, but in traditional media there's always someone who checks those news that, okay, I don't like this part and that part, so we don't share it. Maybe it's not only about politics, it's about everything. They just censor it due to culture, due to, I don't know, religion, due to anything. They just censor it. And the last one, social media can put people in danger by, others can track people by social media. You know, if I, for example, which pages I follow in Facebook, what are my interests, what am I doing in my life. But in traditional media, I'm safe to use them. They can't understand that the government in my country or in other countries, they can't understand what I am doing. So that's it, finally.
No, let me tell you, well done. Very good job. You brought up a lot of very, very excellent points. Really, really good points. You know, I don't even know where to start. So I'm not, because you brought up a lot of things. What I liked about what you said specifically is you took a very practical approach, in my opinion, practical approach to what you said by defining those differences and advantages versus disadvantages, or pro versus cons. One of the most, that last thing you said was really interesting. I thought that was something that was very interesting. I didn't think about that. Um, but I want to refer, and then I think Johnny might have a question. But before Johnny or anybody else has a question, I want to refer to the chat I was seeing on the side as you were speaking, because you brought up the point that again, you know, you can make an argument that there is no media, whether traditional or social, that is right 100% of the time, right? You can make that argument that nothing, again, there's no such thing as perfection, okay? It doesn't exist, okay? But there are some kind of, and I think I said it when let me see, I think when Anand was speaking, there are some quality control measures that are applied to traditional media. Now let me explain something. I think this is important, because in my country this is a discussion that a lot of people have. For example, okay, and I'm not going to compare CNN to BBC, okay? But for an example, Fox News in my country, okay, it's not, many of their shows are not classified as journalism. They're classified as entertainment or opinion shows, because they don't meet the standards. They don't meet the standards for journalism, okay? And there's 2 or 3 shows in the evening time. I don't watch them because I think they're trash, to be honest, okay, in my opinion. Okay, but they're not even classified as journalism. They're not classified as news. They're classified as entertainment or opinion. In the UK, as an example, Fox was pulled because they did not meet the standards. The reason I bring this up is in traditional media, not for every traditional media, but for a lot of traditional media, there are certain standards that they have to apply in order to be rated or classified a certain way. Okay, So when you have, when you see people sometimes on social media, they're sharing their opinion, right? They're saying whatever, okay? They're sharing an opinion, okay? And people often take that as fact, right? TV shows, in some cases, do the same thing. They may not be relating facts; they may be relating opinion. You know what we call hyperbole, okay? Which is basically a lot of noise, okay? So but I do think that point you brought up, Sarah, is a really good point. That again, not in every case, but in most cases, there are certain quality control, quality management measures that you can apply, maybe to not all traditional media, but to a lot of traditional media that is not so apparent in social media, right? I think that's what you were saying. Am I accurate, Sarah?
Yes, exactly. That's true what you said.
Okay, okay.
Mhm.
I just want to clarify that because there was some discussion. Okay, so any questions for Sarah?
I do.
Any question? Okay, go ahead.
Um, I wrote this question. Let me find it. Oh yes.
Okay.
What kind of things do children learn more from social media than from traditional one? And is that something positive?
Well, as I said, social media has its advantages and disadvantages. If you use social media in a good base, you can learn lots of things, okay? But if you use it without any control, uh, it's dangerous. Of course, it's dangerous. And it's not the duty of social media to be good for kids or for children. It's the duty of parents to check what their children are doing and how they are using it, because social media usually doesn't have a range for people who use it, you know. But still, if I have a kid, I don't usually let them uh, use social media unless they can understand what is good and what is bad, which takes a long time.
Yep.
So did I answer
Okay.
you?
I think not. I wanted to know what children indeed learn, not what they can learn. So, what do you see
Okay.
that they do learn from social media? And whatever that
Kids,
is, do you
can
think it is
can you tell
positive?
me how old? How old? What do you mean by, for example, in the range of 7 to 10, something like that?
Well, whatever you call children. Yeah, let's say less than
Mm.
10.
uh, as I said, they can learn lots of things, lots of good and bad things. They can use it to learn how to use, for example, how to read and write, how to do something, for example, how to uh, do a little thing that which is related to them. But on the other hand, they can learn something which is not good for their age, which is not good for their mentality, for their behavior. They can learn some aggressive things. They can be angry, they can be scared, and so on and so on. There are lots of damage for them in social media if there is no control for them.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's it.
Okay. Very well done. Again, great job. Great on both sides. Very good questions and also very good organization, Sarah.
Thank you.
Obviously, you were also prepared. Okay. So well done. Okay, so let's go ahead. Johnny, did you want to go? Let me see, we have Johnny, Sarah, we still have Sarah Blue Sky, Sarah Rose, and So, and I'm not sure if I'm missing somebody. If I'm missing somebody, please. So we have about 5 more people. I have to wrap up soon, but want to make sure everybody gets the chance. So, Johnny, did you want to go next?
Yeah, after those that didn't speak yet.
Okay,
If we
so
start.
Okay, so Blue Sky, are you here? Sarah, blue sky, red sky, green sky, pink sky, white sky, yellow sky.
Bluish, Sarah.
Okay. Not here. Okay. So let's go to Sol. Okay, I guess I should look at the thing here to see who's here. No, blue sky's here for some reason. I guess you can't speak.
Hello?
Oh, hello.
Hello? Yes, I'm here.
Okay, is this Sarah?
Yes,
Okay, okay. Hey, Sarah, how are you?
I'm fine.
So tell us what you think, please, about the topic.
Okay, about the social media, I think social media is like a tool, and we can use this in a positive or in a negative. It is like a pen. We can use it to draw or to write a sentence or to write an evil book or maybe to write a poem for the person that we love him. So we can use it in a positive or in negative. And the impact of social media in our society, in positive thing or in a positive way, you can find or connect with anyone around the globe, and also it is more convenient than the traditional method of communication. Also in a business, we can use social media to target their specific. The negative and the impact. Sometimes you compare your life with others, and especially the rich man or the rich people, and that is not good for the poor people. Also, the negative impact in social media. You waste your time, and many people be like addictus, in social media, and that is not good for their health. And also in social media, the privacy issue. There is many problems happen in this issue, and also a bad group. We can use social media to like a terrorism group, and we can select the young people from the social media, because all the time the young people use the social media, and this is a dangerous thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All.
Okay, so let me ask a question, Sarah, because that's really interesting what you said. So you're living in Yemen
Yeah,
now, right?
I want like also there's an evil game in social media. We can't protect our children, like the game that is famous and that make many young people kill themselves, like a blue whale.
Okay.
So it is dangerous. Sometimes it is dangerous for our children to use social media.
Okay. So you can hear me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I have one question for you, Sarah, if you can hear me. That last point, I want for you to expand upon that. Well, two questions. So you're living right now in Yemen, right? Are you living in the capital?
Yeah.
Is it the capital? Was it Adan, right? Adan is Ada is the capital, right?
Yeah, not capital Sana'a, but it is the second city
Okay.
in Yemen.
Okay. So how is there any control over social media or any restriction to what you can use, or can you use anything that you want?
Yeah, I can use anything, but we have problems here in our country, so the government tried to ban many websites, like news website and other.
Okay, I get it.
But I can use any apps.
Okay, so the government tries to ban it, but okay. So my other question is that you talked about the positive and negative things about social media. So here's my question: do most people trust social media more than traditional, or vice versa? What type of news do people trust more?
For me, I trust in newspaper more than channels and more than social media. But social media, it is fast. You can hear the news in fast way, but I can't trust in all the news.
Okay, so you said that. I'm just trying to make sure I hear. So you said you actually trust newspapers more than you trust other sources of media?
Yeah, because our channel here not get all the news, just the news that what you want to people know it.
Okay, that's interesting. That's very interesting. It's hard to find younger people that trust the newspaper a lot. Okay, so
Yeah, I use social media much more than read newspaper.
But you said you trust the newspaper more, right?
Yeah.
So you use social media more.
So, for example, if I read news from newspaper from the first moment, I trust in it. But if I read or hear from social media, I didn't trust in it from the first moment.
Okay, interesting, very interesting. Okay, anybody have any? Well, actually, one more question that I want to turn it over. So, you brought up a good point. One of the last points you brought up is that how in social media you have some, I'll just use the word bad people. You have some bad people that try to recruit young people that are maybe more vulnerable to do things, terrorism or bad things. Okay. So, what is your idea about stopping? Is there a way, in your opinion, to prevent that or to control that on social media?
I think we can't control about it. It's out of our control.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay, interesting. Okay. And that's sad. Okay. But anyway. Okay. Any questions for Sarah?
I have a fun
That
question.
was really okay. Go ahead.
Sarah.
Yeah, hello.
Hello. If you could create a new kind of social media, what would it be about and why?
About English learning.
About English?
Yeah,
Why?
learning kids.
Uh-huh.
Because I like this language and I like everyone can talk in this language because it's global language.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Very well done, Sarah. Great job. Really, really good job. Very,
Thank you.
very well done. Very interesting too. Okay. So let's go to. Let me see. We still have Soso and we have Sarah Rose. So Soso, what do you think? You've been listening, writing comments.
Hello?
What do you think? Hey, stranger.
Okay, hi, fine. How are you?
Good. Share all your wonderful knowledge with us, okay?
Oh, well, I really don't know what to say because you've said it all. But I think the rule of social media, traditional one and modern one, I think for me it's no difference. There's no difference because the goal are the same, to convey message. They do the same thing, and for a large of the population, the same. And only the difference is, in the past it was one way because of TV and radio used to listen and watch, and nowadays we have two ways. We listen and we comment, we interact more. And we should not blame the modern social media because I think
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I was muting somebody. Go ahead.
Okay. So I think the rule is it's not because in the past it was the radio, and after that we were amazed when we found a good innovation like TV. So we became listening and watching at the same time. And after that, we don't just listen and watch, we comment, we give our opinion about that. So we are evolving each time. And the usage of the social media became more productive. So, and people are more involved nowadays. And that's why we could not handle that because it's something new. I think if we just give ourselves a time, we will find a solution many problems like cyberbullying, and because how can I say, because of this new social media, they create new jobs like YouTubers, and people are having more opportunities to create more, to I don't know, become more famous. I don't say famous, but when people are more present in a social media and people used to see that person and see what they say and they become more influenced by that person. And of course, naturally, they will do the same thing. That's why I said there is no difference. In the past, we used to watch and television. They will bring celebrities, and we used to like the way we used to watch them. We memorize the songs by just putting the songs on TV or on the radio. We like them, we like the way they dress. If we want to know and follow that person, we go to the magazines, etc. And nowadays we are watching them and interacting with them like directly. If I want to, for example, I am a fan of Richard, and I have the chance to interact with you, and because you're famous, I can say, okay, I am a fan of you and what you do. I can ask many questions directly without that barrier. This is the new thing. But I think the role is the same. You can use it in a political goals, you can use it in economical goals, you can use it whatever. I think, this is the difference. People are more involved in social media.
So, and also it's easier access, right? Easier access to other people. So, so I have two questions, if you don't mind, I want to ask you. So again, we're talking about this also from a country perspective, and I know that we heard from Imad earlier. I think Morocco, Algeria, and Tunisia again share similarities in terms of social media, I think. So, but for you, which do you trust more? Do you trust the traditional media or do you trust the social media, or does it matter?
Well, for me, it's not trusting. I think because of my studies, I don't follow one source. I have to search many sources.
You do your homework. Okay, good.
Yeah, many to have conclusion. Yeah.
Very, very good. Really, really good answer. Okay, my next question is going to be, you talked about evolving. So where do you see the next evolution of media? So we think, again, we had traditional media, then we've all evolved to social media. Where do you see the next level of media?
We meet each other in this virtual world. Like, I don't know, something like that. I don't know, like how can that movie that I really dislike,
like
Matrix, like Matrix.
Oh,
yeah.
like Matrix, where people can
meet each other. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
The word you're
So,
looking think is virtual reality.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Well, we already have virtual reality, right? You can actually go and do a virtual reality experience, right? They have the special, things you can wear and everything else.
Not here.
Not where?
Not in my country yet.
No, we have it all over.
Yeah, never.
But I guess. Oh, go ahead, Johnny. Go ahead.
No, I didn't come here yet.
Okay. But I guess, I'm thinking about, what's the word for that? There's oh my gosh, what's it called?
Umbrella?
No, not umbrella. 3D, not 3D. When you have an image that comes in front of you, but you put your hand through it, it starts with a P.
Hologram.
Hologram. It starts with the H. Hologram. It's like. You see in all the advanced scientific movies, they create a hologram of basically the person standing in front of you, right? But it's a hologram, right?
Right.
That I think that's actually, because I think that's just a matter of time that I think they already have some of that technology already. The key would be I think they already have some of that technology already. So because now, like you said, Johnny, it's kind of like, I guess, maybe a version of virtual reality, right? That now we live or we can see, but we're still relatively a long ways away, right? Obviously.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. You think about it. You think about the future. It could be pretty interesting. Yeah.
And my country is waiting for China to make a replica and to make it more cheaper, so we can use it.
Well, you're waiting. Your country's waiting for China to make it cheaper.
Yeah, to make it, yeah, because you made it like very expensive, so it's not affordable for everybody. So
Oh,
go
I see
China.
what you're saying.
Yeah,
Oh, yes. Okay. You know what? No, 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 no.
yeah.
Okay. There's a word in Chinese called buhao. So, nothing against our Chinese friends. Buhao Zhongguoren. Bad China. Okay. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Yeah.
No, no, no. Yes, they do that. They tend to make things cheaper. Yes, that's true. Look at their phones, okay? But you have to look at the quality. Quality matters, okay? Okay. But yeah, anyway, it's interesting to think of where things will go in the future. It's an exciting time to be alive, okay? It is. All right?
Yeah, and another thing is, so it's not changing because nowadays, when we go to YouTube, for example, we have live streaming. It's the same thing as television. So what's the difference? Yeah. So it's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
different. Live
Yeah.
streaming or TV are the same. I don't know. What's the difference?
You know, let me tell you something. The quality?
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something because you guys just brought up a word that we talked about a couple of years, well, actually longer than a couple of years. I guess it was 2013, 2014, so it's been, what, 4 or 5 years ago, that we had talked about when we first started Dreams in Motion at the time, Global English Group, but we talked about these virtual reality experiences, right? And what we said is think about you know, your 5 senses, right? Sight, hearing, touch, taste, smell, right? Those are your 5 senses, right? So when you are in an experience and you are exercising those 5 senses, that's real, okay? Right? Okay? Right. I mean, right now, if I see somebody on video, I see them, I can hear them, but I can't smell them, I can't taste them, I can't touch them, okay? All right? I'm just saying as an example, okay? So the point is that only 2 of your senses are being activated by that experience, right? That the next version, I think, of media would be where basically you have the full-on experience. Okay, now I'm not sure how that happens. Okay, but anyway, I think that's where one day things will go. You know, I'm not sure how. Smell, I think you could do because you could probably, like if you had a PC, you could probably get a extension to your PC and you could probably put cartridges in there that emit a certain smell if a certain voice is being used to activate it, right? Like a rose, okay, or smell of after it rains or something, okay? You could probably do that, okay? But I'm not sure how you would do the other 2 things, okay? Anyway, okay. Interesting, very interesting. Good job, So. Now you got all of our minds thinking, okay? All right. So we still have Sarah, we still have Sarah Rose, we still have you, Johnny. I'm not sure who else I'm missing. I wrote down everybody's name here, but I think some people are not here. If I miss somebody, please let me know. Sarah, are you here?
Yes.
Okay, you've been so patient, so quiet, listening.
Yeah,
So-
I'm listening. I was listening. Yeah.
Tell us what you think, please.
Well, you know, everybody knows that social media has a remarkable role in society. For example, if a person wants to run a business, he usually uses social media to advertise his products, or I don't know, some people use internet for online shopping because it will be easier than shopping around. Therefore, people, you know, people enhance their career, you know, and business in this way. In addition, I think people use social media to get some information, you know, from the internet. I mean, For instance, some students, for example, who need to research, or people who want to get some idea, I don't know, some information about psychological or I don't know, medical issues. They can, use social media as well. Moreover, I think it is useful for people who want to take part in election. They can get some news about political information that can be shared between their friends, because usually they trust them more than other sources. So the role that social media can have is about staying, I think maybe, is about keeping in touch. I mean, staying in touch with friends, and that it can be a good way to interact with people and learning something new about their languages, cultures, values, or customs. About the second question, that I should say that social media and traditional media can inform people, both of them, and give them some information, no difference. Although maybe, I don't know, sometimes they are not, none of them can be reliable. We must pay attention to this, especially about social media, about some rumors that people spread over there. Because sometimes, those rumors can be spread, between people, and cause people to get anxious more. For example, as Sarah said about earthquake, and, some people say, for example, tomorrow, I don't know, we will have a disaster, I don't know, earthquake. And when I watch something, about earthquake on TV, that it happened, okay, I'm watching what's going on. But if, a person's, some people say about those, natural disasters, so it's unbelievable, because it's not, enough trustworthy, And so we can't rely we can hear some fake news as well. And to be honest, some advertisement can, about traditional media, some advertisement that we see on TV that is not trustworthy, too. And some people still prefer, but in this case, some people still prefer to get information from traditional media. For example, my father always watch TV or listen to the radio. If he wants to, I don't know, he wants to get some news, listen to some news about inflation, about politics, economy, or whatever, they prefer, he believes that the government controls TV more than internet. But for example, my daughter is completely vice versa. She would rather using internet and read some news and research about, whatever she wants to know about that. Because definitely it's impossible for her when she wants to find some sources, for doing her thesis, from, she can't find anything, by watching TV maybe. And about the major she's studying. And for me, that, I'm in a middle age, I use both. But if you want me, to be honest with you, I use TV just for watching some talk shows that some doctors or, I don't know, some psychologists give some information that can be useful for my lifestyle, and which is related to the nutrition or nutritious food, or interacting with people in a best way and stuff like that. because I'm not into politics and something. And most of the time I use internet, to be honest. But we should be careful, about using internet, about something we read or something we hear in social media, and because and something that sharing between people in this social media. I mean.
Okay. So
In conclusion, just I wanted to say something,
Sure.
at the end.
Sure.
I should say that, all I'm saying is social media is a way for communicating in two-way conversation, and can be accessible everywhere for us, everywhere we are in. And it's more useful for learning something new. For example, we are learning, in in DNM group now, and at the
Nice
same
plug,
time,
Sarah.
we are asking hello, Jamie, and we are asking
Hi, Sarah.
something, asking some questions. But when we are watching TV, it is a one-way conversation, and sometimes it's just broadcasting some programs, and family members, maybe they are busy with doing something else, and I don't know, maybe dozing off, on a sofa, Now, so thank you.
Okay, so
I think it's
so
enough.
so Sarah, I have a question for you, okay?
Sure. Yes,
So
please.
my question is this, okay? So if you compare your daughter to yourself, who uses, and I think I know the answer, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Who uses social media more, you or your daughter?
I told you I prefer, social media than traditional media. I myself, but I don't say that I never use traditional media. I told you, but some programs, not all programs, some talk shows, but usually, yeah, both of us, me and my daughter, prefer using social media more.
Okay,
Yeah.
so both of you use it. Okay, I was trying to clarify that. So both of you would prefer to use social media over traditional media.
Sure.
Right? How about your husband?
My husband prefers just, reading some newspaper and social media as well. Sometimes he just, watching TV for, I don't know, some about economy, I don't know, politics sometimes,
Okay.
is watching, but is watching, listening to those people who are talking, about this thing, not about movies or series or, I don't know, some, no.
Okay. Okay, interesting. So I guess the reason I asked you that question is because sometimes we see a generation thing, right? Like for me, I use both. I use social media, but I also like to watch CNN or traditional media, right? So
Yes.
for me, I look at both. I don't have a certain preference one way or another. But my daughter will always, she won't watch any news. She'll watch, the only news she gets is what's on her phone, right?
Yeah.
So again, sometimes this is related to, which do we prefer to use most often, right?
Yes.
So, okay, good. So let's go ahead. Thank you. Any questions for Sarah? Any questions?
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
She mentioned something about advertising, and I have a question for that. What product or service, Sarah, do you consider would not be effective enough to advertise in traditional media as opposed to doing it in social media?
I told you, they are not reliable for me. I never use those products, that they advertise on TV. Never, ever. Because, to be honest, I usually ask my friends or, research about some, for example, beauty creams. I want to use it, okay? Just go to the internet and, search for that. And so, okay, it's written, it says this, some advantages for that is good for my skin, is this. And after that, I will ask my doctor as well, when I go to the doctor for my skin, or my hair, or whatever, okay? And I will ask her and compare the things that I read on internet and the things that my doctor says. But I never, rely on on TV, because usually, the things that they advertise more on TV, it is, in my country, but I don't know about your country. The things that, in Iran, they advertise more. I'm sure that is that it doesn't have a good quality, because one day, I bought something according to it's related to many years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and it was awful, to be honest. And I repented, sort of. So I never use, anything, any product from, never.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, let me change a little bit that question. What if you have your own business and you produce a product, right? You want to sell that product and you want to advertise your product. Where would you do it? In traditional media or social media?
No, on social media, because lots of people think like me. If you ask, Iranian, maybe you can, I don't know, you can ask Sarah, maybe Sarah can help us as well. My friends has the same idea that I have it. So as I know, people, they never, trust, I know, television or radio. So why should I do that? I definitely, I, open some site and or inform my families, my friends, my relatives, and try to advertise the products.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Sarah.
Sure. You're welcome.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. So we still have a couple more people to get to. I've got to go in a few minutes, so we're going to have to wrap up soon. But let's go ahead. Johnny, why don't you tell us what you think? And then we'll go to Jamie, and we'll wrap up there unless somebody else would like to go. So, Johnny?
Well, I don't have much to say. I would rather ask.
Wow.
Answer.
Rather ask a question?
No, I answer a question. If you have a specific question.
Does somebody have a specific question for Johnny?
I'm guessing, Rick, the topic is which you use more, social media or TV, right?
Well, the topic is, no, it's not which do you use more, which do you trust more? What has the impact? That's the point of discussion. So Johnny, okay, so I think I already know the answer, but I'm going to ask it anyway. So we'll make it simple. What do you trust more, social media or traditional media? In terms of news. In terms of news.
It's a good question. Well, I mean, it would depend on what you mean by trust. Do you mean the how much accurate it is, or
yeah, the accuracy, yeah. Well, yeah, because if we trust something, it's because we believe it's accurate, right?
Well, I could think that it may be accurate, but that will not be important for me.
Okay.
Well, of course it is important, but what I mean is that, I don't watch news from any country, and for the sole reason that I don't want to be told what to know. I want to know what I want to know. So I don't want anybody to tell me what I should know or what they consider is enough for me to know. If we think about that in that way, I don't trust the news at all, because when I see the news, I am watching something that they want me to see, or they allow me to see, but they don't show me the other things that I want to know, but they don't want me to know. So
Okay.
I consider that all news, all country have an agenda. Um, I don't. Yes, no, because for example, they
Yeah,
will not
yeah.
put on the TV things that will go against their government, right?
Yeah,
They will not allow that.
that's real.
So, suppose that there is something going on with the electricity company, and the electricity company belongs to the state. Let's suppose, and there's something fishy going on, and they will not show that on the news because it will touch the government. It will be against the government. It will not be convenient for them. So they will, try to redirect my attention towards other things, like, hey, there was an accident on the street, or, you know, a tree fell down for the storm. They will fill the space with news that, you know, to distract me from what it really matters. You know, what is going on with the government? What is going on with the taxes? What is going on with this and that? That sort of things are the things that I want to know. I mean, I don't like to be told what I should know, but I would rather go and find out what I want to know. In that sense, I trust more on the internet. And the internet is not only the social media. I can gather sources from many different places. I see the internet and social media like going to a supermarket. The social media will be the shelf where I have different kind of products, and I can choose where to look at, what to pick. I can connect the dots. I can make my own research. That is something I cannot do by watching the television or listening to the radio, because I cannot choose what to see. I cannot choose what to know. They will tell me what they consider I can know, and that's something I don't like. In that
Okay,
way, in
so
that
so
sense, I don't trust the traditional media.
so I don't understand that.
Hmm.
Let me tell you why I don't understand that. Because on TV, uh, they're presenting information. Now it's up to you whether you choose to believe that information or not, right? But if you choose not to, for example, I mentioned Fox earlier because I won't watch Fox because I think it's propaganda. Okay, so I will rarely watch it, sometimes, but rarely. Okay, but I can choose to go to a different channel if I think that they are more balanced, or anyway. So that's a choice. Just like I could go on the internet and I could pull up a website and I can choose whether or not I believe this information, or I could pull, right? It's the same thing,
But
right?
it's not about believing something. It's about what
Well,
they
they're present.
what
I'm
they
sorry. Go ahead.
want you to know, what they um, what they want you to focus your attention on. That's what I mean. Um, for example, let's say one entire day they're talking about the storm, they're talking about the games, they're talking about, I don't know, the prices on the market, right? But there is something more important going on that they are not speaking about because maybe it's not convenient for them to show that. So,
Okay, in my country, in my country, I wouldn't agree with that at all.
Yeah.
Here, we do a lot of things that, most television stations here in the U.S. most don't they're not pro-government. They're going to be honest and say the truth.
mhm.
They don't have agendas. Most, there are some, but I would say that most. But I mean, that's only our country. I can't speak for other countries.
Yeah.
Oh.
We're not communists yet. We're not communists yet, there, Rick. But we might. Never mind.
Well, no, it's not. No, it's not. It's the point. The point is that the purpose, and I understand where Johnny's coming from. The purpose, of news channels, it depends upon what their agenda is. Their agenda is to follow a script, or if they have an agenda, okay, then I would agree that in some cases it's used to manipulate. Okay, I would agree that 100%. I would agree with that 100%. But I think often it's not used. They're just presenting facts. Now, what they choose to present, to me, does not usually an agenda other than they consider to be newsworthy, something that's relative to a group of people. So I think it depends upon the country.
Let's give an example. Let's say that there is something bad going on inside the CIA, right? Would they show that on the news? Would they speak about what is going on, or no?
No.
if
No.
if they're able to, yes. If they're able to, yes.
I don't think so.
Let me tell you, I know this pretty well. Okay, so again, the CIA or anybody doesn't control what goes on the news. The news controls what goes on the news. Now,
Are
because
you
remember,
sure about that?
yes, I am 100% sure.
He worked for the government.
I'm 100% sure. Okay, the press has protections. The press has protections. Okay, the press can report whatever it is, whether it's the most. Now, I'm not saying that there's never been a situation in the past where there's some kind of secret handshake. Okay, I'm not going to say that because there has been. Okay, but you know, and
The Illuminati.
and if the press can trust me, that's how they get their news. If they can find something that they're not supposed to show, they're gonna try in most cases to show it. Okay, so I will tell you, there's no. I know this, and if people pay attention to his websites and stuff, then it's up to you guys. But I can speak for knowing things.
Okay, well, here is all about controlling the media. I mean, I speak about the government. They will not show something that they don't want you to know. They will redirect your attention towards, trivial things, everyday news, like, the storm, the temperature, the game that is going to be important, or, it's what people, don't consider to be, well, some people consider to be that important, but some other people want to know something else, right? And they're not gonna show those kind of things.
Yeah, no, and I think you're right. It does happen. I think it happens in a lot of places. And I'm not going to say that it's never happened here. That would be inaccurate for me to say it. It has happened, and there's what do they call the Pentagon Papers, right?
Yeah.
It came out during World War II, or not World War II, after the Vietnam War, that talked about, some where they were trying to stop the newspaper from printing certain things, and
the
they printed them anyway, and so anyway. But I understand your point very clearly, because there are a lot of places, and again, it's not like it hasn't happened here. It has, but I don't think it's common for it to happen here. But in some countries, it is common for the news to be manipulated. I don't think we have anybody here from Turkey, but when there was the attempted coup in Turkey, what was it, 2 years ago, I think? It was 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago. One of the first things they did was they went to for example, CNN station in Istanbul to turn off the CNN news, to stop them from reporting it.
Right.
So there are things that happen. Yes, there are things that happen. I would agree with that.
That's what I mean.
Venezuela right now. Look at Venezuela right now. Okay, it's a mess. Okay, so anyway, okay. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you.
Sure.
All right, so we still have Jamie, and then I've got to go.
Last but not least.
Last but not least. Least but not last.
Gee, thanks. Hey, everybody. Well, I tend to believe social media more because most of the social media is written by regular people. I mean, they do have posts by CNN, but there are people like people who post things that they've read, and unless you know the person that's posting, then you tend to believe what you read, even though in actuality you shouldn't believe everything you read, because some of it could be BS. But most of the things I see on Facebook, I sort of believe, but I do take some of it with a grain of salt. So yeah, I tend to believe social media more than I trust the news.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. And you said why did you trust social media more? Why?
Because it's written by real people. Yeah.
Are you sure they're all real?
by regular people.
Are you sure they're all regular people?
Yeah, hopefully.
How do you know?
I don't know, Jack. You're there, and you're a regular person.
Well,
he has the power.
No, but the point earlier, right? The point earlier was that was Jamie, I understand what you're saying. I think was it Sarah that brought it up? I think somebody. I think a lot of people brought up that the point there are people that will obviously manipulate people online. Okay, they have anonymous accounts, anonymous names, or fake names, or whatever it is. Okay, they're not a accurate representation of who they are. Okay, so how do you get the truth out of an environment, where it's very common for people not to be truthful?
Well, some of the posts I read are from people that I know in real life, and I don't think my friends wouldn't lie to me.
Okay, I got it. So you're talking about the people that you know in real life.
Yeah.
Okay. And that does make a difference, I think. That does make a difference, okay? So, again, it goes back to your sources, right? It goes back to what we said earlier. Your sources, again, whether it's through your own research, your own investigation, through a circle of friends you have, or through watching maybe a news program or something.
Yeah, like I read most of the stuff that you probably reckon you're real, and I trust you a lot.
Well, that's a scary idea. Okay.
Yeah. I know.
No, but I think that's a good point. So I think and please tell me if I'm wrong here, all of you. I think we could all say that one of the best ways to distinguish between real and fake news, or true and fake news, is to do your research and look at the sources that's providing that information, right?
Yes.
I think we
Exactly,
all
absolutely.
agree, right? So that's a common theme, I think. So, because again, it's only going to get worse. It's not going to get better. It's only going to get worse. And I'm saying worse, not just here, obviously, in our country, but as more and more people get internet access, as more and more people, which is growing and growing and growing. It's not going down, it's going up. So that just means more volume of information, right?
And misinformation.
And misinformation. Very good point. So, all right, great.
Go ahead, Johnny. I know John's got some questions for me, so go ahead.
Huh?
You have a question for Jamie?
He usually does.
As a matter of fact, I do.
What kind of milk were you drinking?
Chocolate milk. It's a milkshake. It's a chocolate milkshake.
Okay.
My father.
Count chocolate.
Chocolate.
Okay.
Yes, yeah. Go ahead, Johnny.
So, Jamie,
Serious. Yes, Johnny.
If wait, somebody's calling.
So, hey.
Who's calling?
Tell them that you did. I don't know. It's not me, that's for sure.
It's hurting my ears. Okay, sorry. So, Jamie, if you could integrate one of the features of social media into the traditional media, what would it be and why?
If I can internet, like, either, probably the like page and the comment page, because it's very important that we have a say in what we read, and that we should challenge or question what we don't think is accurate. And but mostly the comment page. Well, there is op-ed, but the comment page definitely.
Comments page.
Yeah.
Comments.
So Johnny, you were asking him. I'm trying to make sure. So you're asking him if he could incorporate some of the features that are available in social media into traditional media, what would they be?
Right.
Yeah,
and
maybe
why?
That's interesting what Jamie just said, the comment page. So that would mean if you're sitting here watching, CNN or whatever you're watching, BBC, that you can real time live.
Yeah.
Type your comments in, right?
Yeah. Like, you're lying.
Which I guess they do through their various Twitter. They do through social media, but they don't do it through the actual.
Sometimes they do have Facebook Live.
Well, right, but that's still social media.
Yeah,
but that's still social media. So, right, I think that's what you're saying, Johnny. Right? What? So, that'd be interesting.
But why?
Why?
So you can. Why?
Yes.
So I can tell them exactly what I'm thinking. If I do agree with them.
You want to give your
Don't
piece of
worry,
mind?
John.
A piece of your
Yeah,
mind?
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Okay, interesting. Okay, so listen, I have to get going, but I would like to say, and I know there might have been one or two that we might have missed, and I apologize for that. But I would like to say thank you so much. It was a really, really very interesting discussion. Had a lot of good ideas, a lot of good turnout too. Had a lot of people throughout the past 2 and almost 3 hours now.
Wow.
So we went for a long time today. But thank you, all of you, for your ideas again and feedback. Very well done, everybody.
How many cups of coffee did you go through, Rick? How many cups of coffee did you go through?
I've only been through one. I've been here the whole time, sitting down.
Jeez, what? That's a record.
Can I ask,
Go ahead.
I ask a question for Johnny?
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay. How you can protect your data?
How can you?
Social media.
My what?
Yeah. How you can protect your data from hackers in social media?
How can you protect your data?
Well, that is actually
He's asking how can you.
a very good question, and sometimes I can, sometimes I cannot. I guess I would make use of many different kind of protection software, like antivirus, malware, and things like that.
Yep.
And then also just using common sense and being a little bit wise about the things that I do. For example, I don't like to upload photos of me and myself or photos of my house to social media, because when you put a photo of your house, for example, and then people can know how your house is, and the things that you buy, and a lot of people can use this kind of data to track you down and locate you, or locate some family member or something. So being wise about the things that you do online will be the number one thing, a rule of thumb. And then just having a good protection software in your computer, if you use computer. And that's what I do, and so far it has worked for me.
Well, it's a good thing Argentina is it's a good thing Argentina is a large country, Johnny Cook, because it'd be very hard to track you if it was like a small country.
Well, the less information I put about myself, the more difficult would it be for you to track me down. For example, if you don't know how I look, if you don't know my real name, right? How can you find me?
Right.
If you don't know my family's name, or my mother's name, or the name of my neighbor, or if I give you a wrong address,
There you go. That's the thing to do.
May I say something?
Yeah.
Sure, go ahead.
It's not only about you sharing those informations. Always thieves always are a step ahead of others. So the reality that you join internet-based applications, it means that you are putting yourself in front of a huge danger. So it's not like if I don't say my real name, I don't put a picture of myself and so on, they won't be able to track me.
Well, I'm not saying they will not be, because just them, by just using Google, I'm already, putting everything about me out there, just because the way that they work. But the less I do, the more difficult will be. I mean, I will not make it so easy. I'm not saying I will make it impossible, because but I will make it a little bit more difficult for them.
Well, I think we have to balance it, though. Sure, we always have to be sensitive to that. There are people that will try to manipulate things and pull scams and these kind of things. But I think that we should put as much information as possible, in my opinion, as much information as possible out there. See, I have a completely different view of it than you guys do. So I think we should put more information out there, but there is maybe some information that we should utilize.
Not enough so they could
You know,
spread that.
pictures, to me, those things are fine.
Yeah.
You know, interests, hobbies, those things are fine. Now you get into, there's some information that always should be kept, you know, things like maybe, you know, ID numbers, these kind of things, of course. And if you don't feel comfortable, maybe not putting your phone number, okay? But personally speaking, I don't have any issue with putting information out there at all.
You have your standards,
I think
and I have mine.
Right, no, I understand. I
Yeah,
understand. But I'm just saying that I don't trust. I'll be honest. I don't trust people that aren't willing to put information out there.
That's
I don't,
fine.
okay?
That's fine. That's your prerogative. You know.
Okay. But the other thing I was going to say is, going back to the specific question though, is that I think that there are some other steps you can take on social media. As an example, on Facebook, when you register, you can sign up for what they call that again, a double validation approach, where every time you log in, if you have a cell phone number, they send a text message to your cell phone, where it's not just, you know, so if somebody gets your login number, they would also have to have your cell phone sitting in front of them, or have some way to emulate your cell phone, okay, in order to do that. So double step, I think they call it double step verification, okay? A lot of sites do that now as a way to avoid hacking or people that are not you logging in. So I think those are, along with Johnny, with what Johnny said in terms of the standard antivirus or malware protection, this kind of stuff. But in terms of people logging into your accounts or hacking into your accounts, those are the things that you should do, is to use those two-step verifications, because that's exactly why they have them.
Well, wouldn't it be better not having at all that account? Wouldn't it be safer?
Well, then you don't have a social media account. If you don't have a social media account, then
I don't need it, so.
Don't show more information about yourself.
Right, exactly.
I mean, yeah, everybody has to look at it from their own personal perspective, you know. To me, I'm full of the open kimono thing for the most part. So anyway, okay, listen, you guys can continue. I think even with this new version of Skype, if I hang up, the call still remains, right? I
think so.
I'm not sure.
Okay, I guess we'll find out. But anyway, so thank you, everybody. Really good job. Thank you. Great questions, Johnny.
I think so, yeah.
Great, good feedback, everybody. I wrote down like how many pages? Like I think 3 or 4 pages of people's notes. So maybe one of these days these will come in handy. But it was interesting. You guys have some really good ideas. So okay. Bye.
For your memoir.
Bye.
What's that?
Thank you so much, Rick. Thank you.
No.
Bye,
You guys, thanks for being so patient. 3 hours is a long time.
Wow.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye, bye. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye.